This week in Unit 6, we're going to talk about cause and effect writing. So, just like it says, this type of writing deals with the cause of something and the effect that it then has. Now, for this week's forum post, there's kind of three key things you're learning and focusing on. The first is obviously cause and effect. The second is that you're really I'm going to give you an introduction to persuasive writing, which is what's coming up in our 7th unit. And then the third is you're being given an opportunity to practice paraphrasing, which kind of goes back all the way to Unit 1 when you had that little section titled Quoting, Summarizing, Paraphrasing. Now, I will say this about paraphrasing. I think there's a better video that outlines the process and it's more detailed that's attached to this news announcement. So you may want to view that, especially since it's been a while since we were back in Unit 1. Now, for cause and effect writing, you're going to read that chapter. It's chapter 15 in our Unit 6 folder in MindTap. And before I turn you guys loose this week in the forum, I do want to go over the article that you're reading for that forum because a lot of students misinterpret it. And when they do, that affects their answers, which in turn affects their grade in the forum. So let me explain Pinker's argument for you so that you don't misinterpret what he's saying. Right now I'm in MindTap under Unit 6, and I'm going to go to Chapter 15, Cause and Effect. And within that chapter, the sample essay you're going to be referring to in the forum is basically under 15-2D, Analyzing the Effects of Technology. And here's the sample essay, Mind over Mass Media. And I'm going to try to enlarge it so that you can read it in the video. Now, in the very first statement here, Pinker's kind of giving an overview of his topic. He says, new forms of media have always caused moral panics. The printing press, newspapers, paperbacks, and television were all once deemed as threats to their consumers' brain power and moral fiber. All right, so this is kind of the crux of the argument that he's addressing, and he goes on to elaborate a little bit. Now, the key thing with Pinker's essay and where most students go wrong is that they think this is Pinker's argument and his stance that these technologies do degrade moral brain power or that they degrade brain power and moral fiber. That is not true. This is not Pinker's stance. His stance is actually kind of the opposite. He's poking a little bit of fun at these and saying, yeah, people who think this are way overreacting. Okay, and we get to this and we can see this a little bit later in his text when he starts saying things like, but such panics often fail basic reality checks. Okay, so right here, he's really saying, I don't agree with this. All right, and there's other clues that he gives throughout the text. But I want to point this out that Pinker is sort of explaining why this is an overreaction to say that new technology automatically makes us stupid or less moral. So be aware of this while you're in the forum and answering the questions and responding to this article.